Here are the top waiver ads for week 2 of the fantasy football season. Let's start out with quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Atlanta Falcons. Comes in 298 yards. Took 42 attempts to get there. A touchdown. Here's what I liked. Ran for 21 yards and a touchdown as well. Penix may find himself in shootouts. The offensive line is not great, down 40% of their starters from last year, but Penix was able to cobble it together despite seeing a lot of blitzes from Tampa Bay. So quarterback 2, why not? Next, Daniel Jones, Indianapolis Colts, has a great day against a terrible Miami defense, but he did it. 22 of 29, 272 and a touchdown, but Daniel Jones got it going on the ground in the red zone. Jonathan Taylor, not scoring those touchdowns. 2 rushing touchdowns. Daniel Jones, 26 yards. Look, he's got the job. He's probably got a little bit of time now because he's doing well. So look for Daniel Jones to be the starter and get you a nice floor each week. Next, Joe Flacco, Cleveland Browns. We saw against Cincy, not a good defense. Flacco threw 45 times, 291 yards and a touchdown. The 2 interceptions, not his fault. Both were in the receiver's hands. Both could have been caught. Receivers misplayed the ball. Flacco has weapons, has a decent enough offensive line. Flacco's going to have to score points, and when he's on the field, he can get you solid fantasy points. Finally, take that speculative ad on Jackson Dart. Russell Wilson was not good against the Commanders. 17 of 37, 168 yards. You got to be kidding me. Russell Wilson is simply not playing well. Therefore, Jackson Dart should be in line sooner than later. Might not be the best, but if you're in a 2-quarterback league, quarterbacks always have massive value. Let's move to running back. And this first one's a public service announcement. If you're in a smaller league, it's possible that somebody dropped Quinshon Judkins. Most leagues he is rostered, but I want to bring this up. Per Adam Schefter, Judkins could be playing for the Browns in week 2. Still some hurdles to clear if the league's going to clear him or not. But nonetheless, Judkins does project at some point to be the lead back for the Browns. And you definitely want to make sure he is rostered in your league in case he currently isn't. Next, Miles Sanders. I know, not so good. 4 for 53, had a 49-yard run. He fumbled the ball away, really cost Dallas the game. But the fact is this, Jadon Blue was a healthy scratch. Miles Sanders, maybe they forgive the fumble. He had the big run. Every running back in fantasy leagues has value. If you're just scratching to see if something shakes out, give Miles Sanders a whirl, but don't expect a ton. Gotta say it. Kareem Hunt, kind of the same bucket with the rest of these running backs. Here was the weird thing. Kareem Hunt looks like he's really washed even last year, just no explosiveness. Yet, week 1, he gets the exact amount of touches as Isaiah Pacheco. 5 carries each, 3 targets each. Now, Kareem Hunt only turned his 7 touches into 26 yards. It wasn't much, but if they're going to continue to give Hunt work, and again, you're scratching in a deeper league, Hunt is getting work for right now, and I don't know why Pacheco's not, but he didn't. So Hunt is right now viable. Next, Dylan Sampson, Cleveland Browns. He had 12 carries, only 29 yards, 8 catches for 64 yards. So clearly ahead of Jerome Ford. But as I said earlier, Quinshon Judkins could be back as early as next week. So Sampson is probably in that secondary role, but still a second running back does have value in fantasy. Next, Kendre Miller, New Orleans Saints, 5 carries, 24 yards, clearly way behind Alvin Kamara. But the point is Devin Neal only had 2 carries for 9 yards. So it would appear that the direct backup to Kamara is Kendre Miller, and we always like to have our eye on those backup running backs. Next, DJ Giddens, Indianapolis Colts. It's not really the 12 carries for 41 yards. It was a blowout game, and he got a lot of his work late, but it's the point that he seems to be the clear number 2 behind Jonathan Taylor, and Taylor does have quite the extensive injury history. So if you didn't already plan on Giddens being the backup, it looks right now like he has a pretty good hold on that. Finally, Kenneth Gainwell, don't know why he's getting 7 carries. Don't know why he's getting 4 targets, but apparently, as at least of right now, Arthur Smith has him in the running back rotation, and we know they use 2 running backs in Pittsburgh. They must really hate Caleb Johnson, or he must have really looked bad during training camp. But for right now, Kenneth Gainwell getting 10 touches in a game, yeah, there's some fantasy value there. If you're enjoying this breakdown, take a second, hit like and subscribe. It helps RotoWire keep fantasy advice coming your way. If you want even more RotoWire's tools, rankings, and insights, You got a 15% discount just for YouTube viewers. Go to RotoWire.com, pick out that subscription, use the code YouTube15 at checkout. Got a little list of wide receivers here. Cedric Tillman, Cleveland Browns. He goes 5 for 52 and a touchdown on 8 targets. He's the intermediate downfield threat on this team. Joe Flacco can definitely air it out. This team's going to have to throw the ball. Tillman showed last year when he got those 3 starts after taking over for Amari Cooper in week 7. He averaged 7 for 85 and a touchdown. Tillman is a good player. Hollywood Brown catches 10 for 99 on 16 targets. Now, as of when you hear this recording, Xavier Worthy, we don't know the status, but Rashee Rice is still out through week 6 on suspension. And if we're to have Worthy miss any time, Hollywood Brown will be involved, whether it's with or without Worthy. But the more receivers that miss, the more work Hollywood Brown gets. And remember, Kansas City brought Brown in last year, hoping to make him a big part of the offense, and he got hurt. They may begin to trust him more and more. Next, got to list him, Quentin Johnston, 5 for 79 and 2 touchdowns on 7 targets. Now, of course, Keenan Allen had 10 targets and Ladd McConkey had 9. But here's the point. The Chargers came out pass heavy, 34 passes, only 18 non-quarterback runs. It's almost a 2-to-1 ratio. If the Chargers decide to make that their identity, Johnson's the downfield threat. Allen and McConkey got it covered underneath. So Johnson's going to be a problem for defenses because Justin Herbert can launch those deep passes. So he's worth the flyer. Kayshon Bouttie's next. We heard late in the preseason, Boutte definitely stepped up as the number 3 receiver and a starting outside receiver. Well, he picked up where he left off late last season in weeks 16 through 18 when he played well. 6 for $103 on 8 targets. Kyle Williams pushed to the side. This gives Boutte even more space in the lineup. Outside receiver, they're going to need him on the field and clearly has a connection with Drake May. Wan'Dale Robinson, 8 targets, catching 6 for 55, even with the terrible Russell Wilson, but that's the point. Wan'Dale Robinson, even last year, he was getting 8 targets in many games, and in PPR, that's gold. Calvin Austin, Pittsburgh Steelers, 6 targets, goes 4 for 70 and a touchdown. DK Metcalf's the clear number 1. This game was a wild shootout. Pittsburgh probably doesn't have a ton of those, but Austin performed. He is the number 2 receiver, and he will have weeks. Next, Troy Franklin, Denver Broncos, was the clear number 2 receiver behind Courtland Sutton in this game. 6 targets, tied for second on the team. 4 catches, 44 yards. Highly touted rookie last year. Played in college with Bo Nix. Maybe that connection becomes something. Franklin's worth a flyer. Ray McLeod, 5 targets, goes 3 for 51 for the Falcons. Darnell Mooney had a shoulder injury, didn't suit up, was inactive. Drake London got dinged up a little bit in this one. Ray McLeod just hangs around, and he's a part of this offense, so the more opportunities he gets, could have a floor play. Juju Smith-Schuster, 5 for 55 on 5 targets. Look, not a great player, but this one is if Xavier Worthy is going to miss time, then Smith-Schuster is going to be on the field quite a bit, and with that first game he had, it's possible he has some trust from Mahomes. Tyquan Thornton, same team, the Chiefs, goes 2 for 41, catches a 38-yard pass. This one is only if Worthy, we find out, will miss significant time because Thornton would take on that downfield role and have more value. And then the Raiders, you got Dante Thornton and Trey Tucker. Thornton goes 2 for 45, and Tucker goes 2 for 54 and a touchdown. The main offense runs through Bowers and Jacoby Myers, but there are going to be deep shots. So these are lottery tickets in deep leagues. Finally, Sterling Shepard, Tampa Bay, 3 for 39, 6 targets. Emeka Egbuka, Mike Evans, the 1 and 2. Chris Godwin's not back until October, probably. In the meantime, Shepard could be a deep league viable substitution. Finally, tight end, Hunter Henry, picking up where he left off last year with New England Patriots. Drake May, 8 targets, 4 for 66. That's exactly the type of production he was putting up last half of last season. Tight end 1, probably on the floor. Not much ceiling, though. Kyle Pitts, some leagues he's available. Okay, I'll put him out here. 7 for 59, 8 targets. I know it's always going to be the year. Well, at least he started out strong. So give him a flyer. There was no Darnell Mooney, so maybe that helped, but still. Juwan Johnson, 8 for 76 on 11 targets. Spencer Rattler throws 46 passes. Juwan Johnson, second most targets behind Chris Olave. Look, if they're going to throw that much, there's PPR value. Brenton Strange, Jacksonville Jaguars, 4 for 59. Certainly, Trevor Lawrence wasn't getting the ball to Brian Thomas, but he got it to Brenton Strange. So Brenton Strange may be a floor play. Harold Fannin, Cleveland, leads the team with 9 targets, 3 more than David Njoku. Fannin goes 7 for 63. It might be a 1 week thing, or it might be a permanent thing. Take a flyer, because if he's getting that type of volume, that's a real strong tight end. Tyler Conklin, 2 for 50, 2 targets, a 33 and a 17-yard catch. Again, if the Chargers are going to throw the ball, Conklin is a very good pass catching tight end.